Hello, I'm Mensah Augustine. In this lesson, I'm going to look at addition and subtraction of complex numbers. Now, in the first lesson, we defined the complex numbers as z equals x plus yi, where x is the real part and y is the imaginary part. So if I have the complex number z equals 2 minus 3i, and this is complex number 1, and then z2 equals 5 plus 4i. Then z1 plus z2 is simply found by adding the real parts together. 2 plus 5, 7. Then minus 3i plus 4i, that gives plus I in a very simple way. And then if I take z2 minus z1, then I have 5 minus 2. That gives the real part plus 4 minus 3i. Factorize the I out in a very simple way. This is z2. So we take 4 and then subtract this from that. So this gives 3 plus 7i in a very simple way as that. So we subtracted z1 from z2. 2 from 5, 3. Minus 3 from 4 gives positive 7 in a very simple way. Now, let's see this one. If I have, say, 2i cubed minus 3i squared plus 5i. How do I simplify this? Remember, we said that square root of -1 is equal to I, and that -1 equals I squared. And we said that if I have I power 3, then I have I squared times I, which is equal to -1 times I, which is equal to -I. So here, what do we have here? We have 2 times -I minus 3 times -1 plus 5i. This gives minus 2i plus 3 plus 5i. And this gives 3 plus 5 minus 2i. This is 3 plus 3i in a very simple way. I cube is minus I squared is -1. So 2 times -I gives -2i. Minus times minus gives positive. And that is what we have there. Now, what about this one? If I have 2i power 6 plus 2 on -I power 3 plus 5 times I power -5 minus 12i. How do I simplify this one? Now, this gives 2 power I power 6 is I squared times I squared times I squared. Or we can do it I squared times I power 4. Plus this will give us 8, 2 power 3, and this will give us minus I power 3. Plus 5 times 1 divided by I power 5 minus 12i. Now, this will give me minus 1 times -1 times -1, which will give me 2 times -1. Then here we have plus 8 divided by what? Now, this will give -I times -I times -I. And we are going to have negative, positive. So we have I squared dot -I. And this I squared is -1. So times this gives positive I. So we are going to have 8 divided by positive I. Plus 5 times 1 is 5. Now let's take I power 5. I power 5 is simply I squared times I squared times I. This gives negative 1 times negative 1 times I, which gives I. So this one is divided by I minus 12I. So these are like fractions. So if I add them together, I have minus 2 plus 13 divided by I minus 12I. Now, we rationalize 13 on I to get this. So let's see. So we have 13 on I times I on I. That gives 13 on I divided by I squared. That gives 13I on negative 1, and that is negative 13I in a very simple way. So we do here as minus 2 minus 13I minus 12I. That gives minus 2 minus 25I. So here we have minus 2 as the real part and minus 25 as the imaginary part. Okay, now if I have this one, let's try this one quickly. If I have this one, if I have Z1 equals 3 minus 2I, Z2 equals 1 minus I, and Z3 equals 1 plus 3I. Then we find that Z1 plus Z2, then we find Z2 plus Z1, then we find Z1 plus Z2 plus Z3. Then again we find Z1 plus Z2 plus Z3. But let's also find Z2 plus Z3 somewhere else here and see. Now, if I take Z1 plus Z2, 3 plus 1, 4, minus 2 plus minus 1 is minus 3I. Then if I take Z2 plus Z1, 1 plus 3, 4, negative I plus negative 2I is negative 3I. So you see that addition of complex numbers is commutative. If you interchange the position, the answer remains the same. Now, let us find Z2 plus Z3. 1 plus 1 is 2. Negative I plus 3I gives positive 2I. Okay. Now, how do I find Z1 plus Z2 plus Z3? I have to find this one first, which I've done here already. But Z1 is 3 minus 2I plus the whole of this is 2 plus 2I. Now, we add 3 to 2 to get 5. Minus 2I plus 2I is 0. So we have this to be equal to 2 in a very simple way. Now, to find Z1 plus Z2 plus Z3, we have to find this first. We've done this one here. Z1 plus Z2 is Z1 plus Z2 plus Z3. This one is 4 minus 3I. So we add this to Z3, which is 1 plus 3I. Now, what do we do here? We will have that 4 plus 1 is 5. Minus 3I plus 3I will give us 0I, which is 5. So we get this one to be 5. So you can see that addition of complex numbers is associative. Now, let us explore more ideas. If I have 1 on 3 plus 7 on 3I plus 4 plus 1 on 3I minus 4 on 3 plus I. And how do I do with this? So this one, we take the real parts. 1 on 3 plus 4 minus gives plus 4 on 3. Plus, then we take the imaginary part. 7 on 3 plus 1 on 3 minus positive gives minus I. Sorry, minus 1. Then I out. Because I times 1 gives this one. Now we add this together. This will give us 5 on 3 plus 4. Because 1 plus 4 is 5 on 3. 3 times 4 is 12 plus 5. That is 17 on 3. Then this one gives here 8 on 3 minus 1. This gives 5 on 3. So we have plus 5 on 3i. So this is the real part and this is the imaginary part. Now, let's take the last two examples. And we are good to go. Now, the last two examples, we have this one. If I have I power 107 plus I power 112 plus I power 117 plus I power 122. How do I simplify this? So this is the smallest one. So let's factorize it out. So I have I power 107 times 1 plus I power 5 plus I power 10 plus I power 15. 105 plus 5 gives this. 105 plus 10 will give you this. 105 plus 15 will give you this. Now, you have I power 107 times 1 plus, I power 5 plus power 10 is the same as I power 5 times I power 5 plus I power 5 times I power 5 times I power 5. Wow. So in this case, we need to find I power 5, which we've done earlier. I think here we did it here. It is I. We have done it here already. It is I. So here you have I power 107 into 1 plus I times I plus I times I times I. In case you forgot, I power 5 is the same as I power 2 times I power 2 times I. This is negative 1 times negative 1 times I. Negative, negative, positive 1 times I gives I. Now we have I power 107 into 1 plus I times I gives I squared, which is negative 1. Then I times I gives negative 1 times this gives minus I. So you see that we have I power 107 times 0, which gives 0. So the answer for this is 0. Because 1 minus 1 is 0, I minus I is 0. Wow. Now, we are done. Let's take the last example. Wow. Let's take the last example. Minus 16 plus 3 times root of minus 25 plus root of minus 36 minus root of 625 in a very simple way. So we take this one, we have root of 16 times root of minus 1, and this gives root of 16 times I, and that is 4I. So we write here as 4I. The same thing, this gives us plus 3 times root 25 is 5, and we have I, plus root 36 is 6, then we have I, minus, this is minus here, so we have minus 25I, that is root 625 is 25, and root of negative 1 is I. So here, we are going to have 3 times 5, that is 15I, plus 4I, plus 6I, minus 25I. If we add 6 to 4, we get 20I. Sorry, we get 10I rather. Then we add 15 to this, we get 25. So we have 25I minus 25I. That gives us 0. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and leave your comments.